Ah.
You are live, see?
We're live. Here
Yeah,
go.
we are live on the YouTube. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. Fallon, it's your first time.
It is my first time. I'm a YouTube live virgin. This is
Woo!
it.
I'm
Ooh.
about to, honestly, I'm trying to figure out what is okay to say on YouTube and what's not. If anybody knows, let me know. I was gonna, I'm stealing your YouTube virginity. There we go.
There you go.
I was gonna say it like slightly more vulgar, but we won't do that.
Let's ease it in slowly.
Yeah, let's.
That
Yeah.
sounded
Hey, that's
dirty
what she
too.
said.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what she did
exactly.
say.
So, just want to say hi really quick to Alicia, Sophia, Peggy. Peggy's behind the scenes modding for us, you guys. Thanks so much, Peggy. Sophia. I already said Sophia. Brian, poet. Brendan, hey buddy. We got quite the crew.
Yeah, we do. It's exciting.
So if you've been tuning into the channel, we've been having a good time. Giggity.
Mm-hmm.
Like Alicia says.
I love it.
Refrain from cursing for the first 4 minutes if you are capable of that. I'm trying so hard. I really am.
No cursing for 4 minutes.
Oh, see here, I see 5 minutes. I don't know.
First 5 minutes. I didn't
Alex
realize there
is
were
here.
so many.
Hi, Alex.
Hi, Alex.
Apostate Alex. That's who brought me into the world of YouTube. We did a segment called Ask Alex to Scientology. He told me about the Bridge to Freedom for free. The Bridge to Total Freedom. My bad. Free. Yeah. I felt pretty free before hearing it though, you know.
That's true.
So,
Alex says he likes your backdrop. Ash is leveled up, and this is what it looks like before you get a backdrop. But hopefully next time we'll have like a real deal going on here.
We are so excited.
We are.
Oh,
hey,
that's
I know
Fallon.
that guy.
Hi,
That's
Chris.
my husband. Hey, Chris. I never call him Chris, so he's probably like, "Who are you talking to?"
Who? Babe? Hubs? I don't
Babe.
know.
Yeah.
Pooh Bear?
No.
So, if you guys have been tuning into the channel, it's been kind of random content so far. Not super random, but it hasn't been any that's so fucked up. Little background. What?
No swearing. Remember? God. No TSFU.
It's okay. We're not monetized yet. Right now, it's just practice.
Oh, okay. I was just trying to keep us on the straight and narrow.
Motherfucker. God damn it. Shit cock. You know,
get it
right
all
away.
out of your system now.
Okay.
And then no more swearing for 4 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
there you go.
Yeah, because we're practicing. So yeah, Marilyn Honig from Coffee Colts and Crafts. Go follow her channel. She had me come on her channel and talk about my experience in AA, which was it was a really interesting thing to unpack for me. I definitely thought that I had never had any ties to any cult-like or religious organization ever. And then wow, AA is a little bit culty and lots of Christianity words, Christianese in it.
Christianese, if you will. We thought you almost joined a couple cults, right? Never that you got actually that far into one, but turns out you're the cultiest of all of us, maybe.
The denial runs deep. No, I mean, I didn't have any horrific experiences. I did end up leaving because it's pretty shame-based. You could look at that as like accountability or shame. When I left, it felt like shame. So And well, just a little caveat too. When I got there, I think I needed that accountability. But anyways, Marilyn and I dove deep into that. It was really awesome. And then I talked about, I've done a couple segments about healing and recovering from complex trauma. And what else have I done? I've talked with Peggy about grooming.
Talk to Meg.
Not pet
from
grooming or any, not the fun kind of grooming. Nobody braiding hair probably, but like in a very inappropriate way,
You
Um,
talked to Meg from TTI.
yes, Meg
I work for
Applegate from
TTI.
Unsilenced. We talked about the troubled teen industry. So yeah, we've talked about a lot of interesting stuff so far. The channel started off as That's So Fucked Up. Then I was like, no, I'm going to talk about slut shaming and it's going to be called Harlots and Jezebels. And then I was like, no, I'm going to talk about coercion and control. So I'm going to call it Coercion and Control with Ashley Love Richards. And then I was talking to my boyfriend. I was like, babe, what about complex culture with capital CULT? And he was like, okay, but what about That's So Fucked Up live? And I was like,
Nailed
bitch,
it.
what? That is so good.
I'm glad you came on this journey with us. I feel like that's how all series start though. We go down a very windy path.
Yeah, it's like, ooh, this, that. So yeah, we are really excited. Oh, don't leave the studio. We are really excited to start recording episodes of the podcast live too. That is where most of our content lives, is anywhere you can stream podcasts. You can also stream podcasts right here on YouTube. If you guys didn't know, it's a whole podcast playlist, or Spotify, Apple, anywhere like that. That's where you can listen to the majority of our content. This is our first time ever recording an episode of That's So Fucked Up live. So you guys are here for a moment of history in the making.
I was going to say this is definitely a historical event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, just a little rundown. We are going to be recording this like we would any other podcast. After this little hello that we're doing. Hi, Jennifer. Welcome. You'll get to know all these people soon, Fallon. They're super nice. And quite a few of them are in our Discord, actually. Guys, join our Discord. Peggy, if you could throw that banner up, that would be tight. Yeah, so we're gonna record the podcast as usual. We're not gonna be taking any questions or responding to any comments while we are doing the podcast. But you can ask questions and make comments. And Peggy, who's doing our awesome modding today, is going to star those so that we can get to them after. So if you want your comments responded to or your questions answered, make sure to stay tuned until the end of the live stream. And if you do so, you'll also get a tote, which I don't have any next to me at this moment.
Mine are all in the other room. I have two, and they're, of course, not in the room with me. Sorry.
Okay, give me literally 1 second.
So now you just get to look at Ash's beautiful background.
Hey, if you'd like one of these totes, oh, look at that. Nice rope detail handle. Ooh, canvas. Take that baby to the grocery store. Am I right? So one of these coming up for one lucky winner after the stream.
Yeah, do it. Stay.
Oh, and
win.
you have to subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet to be qualified. But I think a lot of you guys already have. So thank you so much. But if you haven't, please do. Okay, so we are going to now get into the podcast. So please enjoy really quick, you guys. Discord seems a little confusing at first, but I promise it's so fun. And the rope is I think it's, gives it a classy touch, just a touch of elegance,
And we have some awesome Discord mods, by the way, who know everything about Discord. They've taught us all we know about Discord pretty much. And so join. They'll be more than happy to help you learn how to navigate.
Absolutely. And also, Sally is in the house. Hi, Sally. Sally is one of our longtime researchers for the podcast. So, yeah, we have kind of a culty vibe, but it's a really awesome team who works together to make this content. Actually, Peggy helped a lot with today's research. So, we are going to get into it. You guys are free to chat in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and hide that for us so it's not distracting. And we'll get back to you guys in a little bit. Probably, I don't know, hour 15 something.
Yeah. Stick around. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, we're going to have so much fun. We have a great topic today. Okay, here we go.
Right. My turn?
Yeah, I guess so. Well, you so now we have to introduce the podcast. So now we're going to be like, oh,
from the top. Let's do it.
From the top. Yeah, you guys get to see all of the behind the scenes. So here we go.
Literally with me, you see all of my behind the scenes. It's pretty much a hot mess, but this is how we record.
It's okay. My I've just had my messy table in the background for a while. So I bought a sheet in the meantime while I level up. So all right. So hey everybody, welcome back to the podcast. This is That's So Fucked Up, a podcast about cults, murder, and other generally fucked up stuff. We're your hosts. I'm Ashley Love Richards.
I'm Fallon Morey.
And today we have a pretty fun topic. I'm really excited to lighten it up a little bit because we've been going a little bit heavy lately.
We have. We've been going hard. It's nice to get some levity in here.
Yeah. And I'm kind of sad because I don't know, whatever. After seeing shiny happy people, I became even more disillusioned with reality TV, and just learning sucks, man. The more you know, how much everything fucking blows. It's so annoying. Ignorance is truly bliss.
What was your reality TV program of choice? I keep forgetting.
Well,
30
The Bachelor.
Oh,
and The Bachelorette and Bachelor in Paradise.
Who
The
knew
whole
there were so many?
franchise. Yeah, that was my gateway drug. And then I really got into 90 Day Fiance, which is on TLC. And then TLC became a fundamentalist propaganda machine, or they were one the whole time, and I just didn't realize it.
Because ignorance is bliss.
Yeah, now I can't enjoy their fucking content, which pisses me off because it's hot garbage, and some of it was just really good stuff to watch when I was feeling low about my life. Because let's be real, that's why people watch reality TV. They're like, let's watch somebody else's drama.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, I was researching this, and Ted Koppel, who's a journalist, he called reality TV the end of civilization. So, I mean, that's pretty hardcore, but it's a mess.
It's not a far stretch. I mean, I would say that society's gone downhill since the Kardashians started, 20 fucking years ago? How long have those bitches been on TV, for real?
I don't know. My first intro to reality TV was The Real World, the OG Strangers in the House. All the
Yes.
drama. That was my favorite. I used to watch it in high school and be like, I want to be on this someday. This would be amazing.
Do you still
want to be on
still
it?
want to be on it?
No, not if you paid me $1 million.
Are you glad that your 20s weren't documented on television?
Yes, I think all the time what would happen if my 20s were documented anywhere. And I'm glad that cell phones got much more popular later on.
Yeah, no, I don't. Well, I mean, cell phones are not. I don't. The 20s, that was a decade and wild. You know, it was it was a lot of learning, wild times, a lot of fun. No regrets, hashtag no regrets. But I'm enjoying my 30s and looking forward to my 40s. Actually.
40s are fun. I'm on the right hand side of the 40 line. And
Yeah.
it's closing in on 42. And I actually really like my 40s. And all of it's documented. But now I don't do anything wild. So you're gonna catch me like snoozing on the couch in my sweatpants or,
Belly
dinner.
dancing.
That's true, belly dancing.
You
But I'm pretty
little
public about
tank.
that.
Shaking your frickin' hips all around and such. So, if anybody is listening to the podcast and not watching it live on YouTube right now, then you probably, either you don't know or you're just not into the YouTube thing, which is totally fine. But guess what, y'all? We are now live on YouTube. I'm going to update our link. So I'm not going to give a link right now, but because it's not going to be the same at tomorrow.
That's true.
So when this episode gets released, like it really won't be the same at. But yeah, you can find us on YouTube. Just search That's So Fucked Up, and we'll come up. And then our handle will probably be at That's So Fucked Up with no U. THATSFKFCKED UP.
Yes.
That will likely be the handle. So anyways, I will update that in the show notes or the comments. But yeah, we are live on YouTube now maybe not every Friday, but most Fridays at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Good job.
And I know those are hard. And yeah, the episodes will still be on the podcast feed edited, and the podcast will still go on just as normal. We just now have this extra platform now where we can engage more with listeners and reach a new audience. So it's really exciting. We will do a social media post as to where to subscribe. That's what's up. So you guys, go to our website, tsfuthepodcast.com, and you will find a link right there. You'll also find a link to our Patreon, where you have access to over 126 episodes that are not available on the feed. You get to hear monthly about me. I learn about the Bible monthly, which is really interesting and a really good time. I don't know why I'm making this horse noise so much today. I'm like really wilburing it up. I don't know what the fuck that's about. But
it's not something you've ever done before.
No, so. I don't know why it's happening all of a sudden. But so
maybe
anyways,
it's what the live brings out in you, the horse.
Mr. Ed. Yeah, so business as usual, I guess, except for that now we are also on YouTube. So come hang out with us and go to tsfuthepodcast.com again to find Patreon, Discord, YouTube, all of our social media, all of our listening platforms, about us, all of our cult episodes. If cults, cult leaders, coercion, that kind of thing is your jam, we actually have a tab on the website that lists all of our cult content. So, yes. All right. So hinted a little bit at the beginning. We talked about reality TV, but we're talking about something more specific than just reality TV today. So, what is that, Fallon?
Right. Well, I'm so happy that you happen to ask that question because I have lots to tell you. So, reality TV has a lot of issues. I guess they do have some sort of culty and controlling behavior, starting from when they cast people and produce the show, all the way down to how they manage people on the show and then afterward. I was pretty shocked by the conditions that people are in on reality TV shows. If you watch them, you know that no perfect narrative ever would unfold in real life like that. Like life is not always that interesting or exciting.
I don't like that though, Fallon. Again, ignorance is bliss. I used to watch this shit and be like, Peggy, I just looked at the I just looked at the chat and saw Peggy. I would watch it, and if anybody was like, that's like so fake,
Yeah.
I'd be like, fuck you.
This is real. It's
Don't
so
ruin my
real.
Thursday night. Okay. Rude. Actually, I really want to let's see if I can pull this off.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to I was trying to share. Oh, present. Hold on, share screen. Oh, nailed it. Okay, so I think really quick, can we play a quick round of cult bingo
Sure. Let's
about
play a round
reality
of
TV?
about reality TV. Okay. Let's
Okay, so just
sl-
give me a yes or no.
yes.
Well, I'll read them out loud for because it's a podcast.
The people on the podcast are like, this is the weirdest 5 minutes ever.
What the fuck? I hate this. Stop that, you guys. Okay, so sleep deprivation,
Yes.
vulnerable groups or people.
Maybe I don't I mean, I guess the people on the show are vulnerable while they're there, but I don't think it like targets vulnerable people.
Okay, right. Relinquished money and possessions.
Yes.
Yeah, well, a lot of times people have to quit their jobs and shit to go
Yep.
on
Yeah.
these shows. Leader is all knowing.
If you talk about like the leader being the producer of the show, then maybe yes, because they're the ones that sort of control the narrative.
Aren't they kind of the
They're
fucking
like the
puppet
puppet
master?
master. Yeah.
I'm gonna say yes. Busy bees. Like, do they keep people exhausted and stuff?
Yes. Yes.
Matching clothes or haircuts?
Not matching, but controlled clothing. Yeah. So clothing.
Really?
Yeah. Control over what people wear or what they don't wear. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it. Mass graves. That'd be really intense if you said yes.
That'd be highly illegal, I think.
Yeah.
That'd be like Squid Game reality TV show.
That's so funny. That's actually what I just thought of. Brainwashing.
No.
Group punishments.
No, not as a group.
No.
I think on shows like Biggest Loser, they would sort of like talk down to people who are on the show or punish them for not working hard enough, but not as like
That's
a group
nice.
punishment. I know.
Yeah, reality TV is great.
Yeah.
Justification of anything leader deems necessary. I'm going to say that's kind of like leader is all knowing and give it a yes. Jesus is an alien.
He could be, but I don't know that
Maybe.
it's a reality TV staple.
Right. Compound.
Yeah, they live in a special place, like a house.
I know. Yes.
On a compound.
Leader dictates members' romantic relationships.
Yes.
Yes. Control over diet.
Yes.
No sex.
I feel like half of them are based around sex, but
yeah,
I think maybe in a controlled way. So,
did any reality show ruin a popular branded object? Like Heaven's Gate ruined Nike, Jonestown ruined Kool-Aid.
Not that I can recall.
Of any?
But certainly if anyone can think of one in the comments, put it in there and we'll recolor that square.
Absolute commitment required.
Yes.
free sex on some of the shows for
like
sure.
unpaid or like
No,
with
like it's just like
abandon?
woo with
Yes.
abandon. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, there was a show called Love Island. I think that's highly based around just having as much sex as you can.
Yeah, I've watched it, and they literally make everybody sleep in the same room with in shared beds.
Right.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Apparently, Survivor has group punishments. They don't get food if they all fail.
Ooh, good one, Hilton. Colored it.
Oh
Group
my
punishment.
god.
I
What
didn't
the
even know
fuck?
that. I've never seen Survivor.
Okay,
That's
we're
one's
not gonna
up
no,
above.
me
No?
neither. Okay, oh yeah, I need to go back.
Click
Group punishments.
right above compound. Yeah, there you go.
Yep. So actually I'm gonna have the editors leave this like slightly unedited so that the podcast audience kind of sees what's going on. That right now we're playing a little bit of bingo and we are actually talking with some of our audience. What's up to Hilton? He's one of our patrons. So fun, you
Yay.
guys. Um,
We're on medicine not allowed.
yeah.
And I'm going to say yes because they don't let people get treatments for things and take care of medical issues without specific like doctor notes for it.
Yeah, that's controlling as hell.
Yeah.
Pedophilia.
No, because I don't think that's a reality show anyone would want to watch. So I will say no.
Actually, it is, and it's called To Catch a Predator, and it's super popular.
Oh, okay.
Boom.
Oh,
Look,
I
you
didn't
can
watch
be like,
that.
you can freewheel with these, you know? It's like,
Oh, okay.
uh,
You know me, I'm very for the
you're
audience that does
you
not
are
know me, I
by the
am
book.
by the book. That's right.
Fallon was in the military. I am like a chicken with my head cut off. And we balance each other out. It's beautiful. Leader is incarnation of God or Jesus. I can't think of
No,
any.
I
No.
don't think so. I
Wanna
mean,
be rock star?
I mean,
Hello,
I'm
that's
sure
like
somebody is. They're all there to be famous, I think.
yeah, well,
So,
and
yeah.
you have what, like American Idol, that's the OG, and then so many people have been caught going on to The Bachelor and stuff too. Um, try to
Be
whatever,
famous.
get fame, that's what I'm trying to say, yeah.
Yeah.
Copied other cult leaders.
I mean,
Hell yeah.
yeah, I think all the shows to
'Cause
some degree copy one another in the formula. So, yeah.
but also they're using cult tactics.
Yeah, for sure.
And cherry picked, like, which, yeah, goes with,
I think in this case it works because like the producers will pick out people that they decide to be certain roles and pick footage that goes with it. Like the way a cult leader will pick prophecy or portions of the Bible or whatever that support their thing. I think that the producers on these pick the stuff that makes a person look the role they want them to lead.
wait, I just remembered something too. On Bachelor in Paradise. Oh, is it Bachelor in Paradise? No, they want everybody to hook up. Oh, you guys, if there's anybody in the comments who knows, there's a show where there's a fucking talking air freshener.
What?
It was on Netflix.
There's a talking air freshener?
Yes.
Can you explain? I don't
It's called like Too Hot to Handle or something. The air freshener's name is Lana.
For all
Hold
you
on.
watching, this might be the small portion that normally gets cut out. But I'm gonna say I believe
Too hot to
you.
handle. Too hot to handle.
Too hot to
They
handle.
they put a bunch of hot ass people together and they make them do sexy activities and they're not allowed to bang or else the whole group gets punished. And that is a cult bingo. Boom.
Boom.
Reality TV is a cult, y'all. If you didn't play along at home, you should because it's fun.
Yeah,
That was so fun.
that was fun.
I feel like I forgot to play bingo all the time. And
I just played my first bingo last time we recorded, and I was so disappointed because I got like 4 and no bingo.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Oh, the air freshener is called Joe. My bad. Thanks,
Or
Sally. It's
what's
on
his name?
Netflix.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go figure it out because I don't understand what an air freshener has to do with like
It just looks like an air
that.
freshener, and it's the host of the show, and it talks.
Oh, okay.
What? Hilton asked if it was The Circle, which is I think you're going to talk about The Circle. Oh
Maybe.
my god, Sally's been busy lately, and we haven't been talking that much. And I forgot that she gets me every goddamn time. She just said, "Joe Mama."
Oh.
I'm pretty sure the air freshener's name is Lana. Okay. I was like, oh, it's Joe. I bought it. Hi, welcome. Hey guys, welcome to anybody who's coming in. I know that we said we weren't gonna like look at the chat, but I can't help it. You guys are so nice.
It's kind of fun looking at the chat. So
I know, but we just can't do it too much because then the editors have to.
yeah, we'll get very distracted.
Yeah, we definitely will. Okay, so I think The Circle is one that we're going to be talking about today, right?
I don't
No?
know, but you
Oh,
can talk about it when we get to the right place.
well,
Feel free to add it in.
okay. All right, well then let's hear it. I'm so excited.
Yeah, so we already talked about the highly controlled environments, right? So that's the first one is sort of the location control. Most reality series do not let their contestants have cell phones or contact with the outside world, except really controlled contact with the outside world. They're also usually not allowed to use the internet.
And they can't watch TV either, right?
Right. Right, most of the time. It's like being a sequestered jury, like you just
That
go
would be
dark.
where I was out. I'd be like, I can't even watch I can't even watch TV to pass the fucking time. Are you kidding me?
Can you imagine all the people on The Bachelor sitting around drunk watching like Survivor or something on TV?
Also,
Fourth
oh,
wall break right there.
yeah, and like I think they keep alcohol pretty readily available because
Yeah.
drunk people are entertaining, right?
They're either entertaining or very sleepy, but I think they cut it so that you see the entertaining part.
Yeah. They're like really good at finding people who love to drink, but who aren't like blackout,
Drunk
like
alcoholics or
sloppy
whatever.
alcoholics.
Yeah,
Because
for
I would
sure.
not have worked on one of those shows. I would have been like, open bar. Well, I'm sober now, but back at a time where I don't think I ever I'm like, let's be real. Would I have ever tried when I was younger? Probably not. I think I watched enough that I was like, "Hoo-hoo, girl."
But I've seen you
Mm.
out and social with zero alcohol on board, and I think you'd be right alongside them because you're pretty intense, without
It
the
was
alcohol.
so fun. Yeah.
What she means
Um,
by intense is really fun.
but like if I was in my drinking days and
Oh,
got onto The Bachelor or something and it was just open bar, I
end
don't
of
know.
it.
I
That's the
don't
end of
know.
it.
Yeah. Actually, it made me really mad because one time on The Bachelor, this woman was going through an obvious mental fucking break of some sort. And they just filmed it and put
Yeah.
it up as entertainment instead of getting her help. Like I don't know where she was. She was out of her mind. They were doing this like zombie hunting game or something, and she kept hitting the actors because she thought that they were real zombies. Like she was totally
Like having
needed
a break.
psychiatric help right
Wow.
fucking then. And I was watching it on TV, like, are you kidding me? This is so gross.
Yeah. They do a lot of the kind of ignoring medical and psychological problems. That's a big issue in them too.
So I would even say vulnerable people, you know, because it's people who
Are
like
you still playing bingo?
I'm just looking at it still. I'm like, where's it's except for Jesus being an alien or like a producer saying that they're God or Jesus, which has probably happened somewhere. Like we pretty much lit that thing the fuck
We
up.
did. But speaking of God or Jesus, in the Bachelor and Bachelorette mansions, often the only reading material allowed is the Bible.
Bitch,
Strangest thing.
shut the fuck up.
Right.
Are
Like,
you serious?
I just went on a date. I kissed some dude that kissed 20 other women. Let me sit down and read some Leviticus. I don't know.
But you can't you I'm sorry. What if you're what do you know what if you're Muslim?
I don't know. Maybe they put everybody's holy book in there. I don't know. But they don't
So
let
holy
you have
books are
other books.
allowed, but no fiction, no
Yeah,
history. I can't read about the fucking Titanic while I'm waiting to see if Joe Schmo is gonna take me on a date.
that's right.
This sounds terrible.
God or nobody. It gets worse. We're at the second point of like 57 other points.
Don't say that. You're gonna discourage everybody.
I'm
It's
just kidding.
it's
We're
not gonna
good.
take that long, you guys.
I'm being what's it called?
Facetious?
Exaggerating. I'm exaggerating.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we talked about the clothing control. So people in shows like Survivor are not allowed to bring their own clothes. The producers put them in clothes to make sure that they all both color coordinate with their surroundings and that they color coordinate with each other. We can't have two greens or two blues. We need a
That's
green and a
matching
blue.
hair and outfits.
Yeah. That's where it comes from. They also, along with that, though, they're not allowed to have a lot of personal hygiene items. Only what is absolutely necessary. And then if it's medically necessary, they can bring it.
Well, that's just on Survivor, right?
I think so. I think
I
on
really
Survivor.
love this show Alone on History Channel, where people go out into the wilderness and survive alone with
Naked. No, that's a different
no,
one.
that's Naked and Afraid, which I
Oh,
think
yeah,
is
right.
silly because that's just to me, it's just drama. It's I mean, yeah, they're naked and they're afraid and they're with a stranger and they're naked, but that just seems like, oh, let's just make this awful and awkward for entertainment's sake. In Alone, these people have like spirit. Oh, my tum tum. I don't know if you heard that.
I did not.
In Alone, people have these fucking spiritual journeys except for this one guy, Larry, who just like lost his mind. It was he was scary,
Get
scary
it
Larry.
together, Larry.
Yeah. But they let them bring they don't let them bring they I think they can bring a toothbrush, but not toothpaste or something like that. So a lot of people will end up leaving with dental problems, and your
Oh my
dental
God.
hygiene is super duper important for your overall health.
Yeah. Yeah, you can die from brain infections caused by tooth decay. So that's
Yeah.
a big deal.
Yeah.
There's a guy that's suing. This is what you talked about before. There's a guy named Jeremy Hartwell. He was on a show called Love is Blind, the second season, and he's actually suing Netflix and the production company because they were treated so bad on set. They were given about $1,000 a week for up to 8 weeks of filming, which is less than half of California's minimum wage. They had to be filmed 24 hours a day, and they had to be working up to 20 hours a day. So like doing stuff 20 hours a day. So like 4 hours of sleep.
Shut up.
Yeah. And they weren't given regular meals, breaks, or rest. And the fridge and the kitchen and the house or whatever they were in wasn't actually stocked with any food and or any water. It was only alcohol. And anytime the alcohol got low, somebody would run over and refill their alcohol up.
Well, come on, they fed them
I'm sure
somehow,
they fed them, but
right?
they weren't giving them access. Like, if I want now, I can go get a snack. But if I'm up for 20 hours a day and somebody's like, here's a little meal and a ton of alcohol, of course you're going to do crazy shit.
Wait, Love is Blind is the one where they get to know each other with a wall between each other, right?
Yeah, I think so. I've never seen it.
Yeah.
I'm not a reality TV show watcher.
I'm like, bitch, I know these. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I watched a couple episodes of that one, but I never liked it because I think that Netflix reality TV shows, all the ones that I've watched have been hot take galls. I was gonna say guys and y'all. Hot take.
Goals.
Netflix reality shows suck. Okay. And yeah, so basically it's called Love is Blind because you date several different people, but you only get to talk to them through like
Like a
a
curtain.
wall. So you
Okay.
never get to see them. And then at the end, somebody picks you. At the end, everybody says who they pick. And then if you and the other person pick each other, yay. And if not, then you get rejected and just went through all that for nothing.
So is the
And
whole show people sitting against a wall talking? Because that sounds extremely boring.
well, they're not sitting against the wall. They're talking like to the wall. um
And imagine
yeah,
somebody
no, it
drawing a
wasn't
smiley face and
it
on the wall to say
it
somebody
wasn't
to
my
talk to.
jam, I didn't like it, but it was super popular. And so basically, what if you fall in love with somebody is the premise, and then you see them and you're just like revolted by their appearance? You know, are you
What
basically
wins
not
out?
are you not shallow enough to
Right.
I mean, and I'm not saying they're all like unattractive people, but everybody has different tastes, you
Right.
know?
I think that's the goal, is to try to be like, no, nobody's that shallow. Love wins out. And then everyone is that shallow. And they're like, I didn't like you that much.
Imagine if you come out and you're like, "Ugh,
Nice to meet you.
yeah. Um Right. So I mean, what else? I'm sure there's like weird contracts and shit. Like
Yeah.
I'm
So
going off the rails as usual.
contracts are crazy. So everyone on a reality set signs a contract. So that's the actors, the camera operators, the people who cater the food, like not just the actors, every person involved has to sign a contract, and it's basically a non-disclosure agreement. And
Hmm.
it's to prevent people from leaking the actual outcome of the show, because I'm sure that other shows out there that aren't as like, they do it with shows like House Hunters and stuff like that. They shoot a couple different endings, right? And then, you get, I'm sure that happens too. But
You are just breaking all the magic for anybody who's not yet been disillusioned.
well,
You're saying nothing in reality TV is real?
I don't think so. I mean, I think some of the outcomes eventually are real, but
In
like sometimes on The Bachelor, the Bachelor himself has his own little kind of private producer, and if he's like, "Well, I want to cut this girl," they'll be like, "Well, don't you want to keep her around for like one more week?" And instead, they'll cut somebody who's like boring and doesn't have airtime, but he didn't cut the one he didn't like at all. So it's
Yeah.
fairly contrived. Yeah. But everyone on the show has to sign these really aggressive contracts. Like, Biggest Loser contestants could be sued for up to $1 million for breaking their NDA at like any time after the show.
That's why it's so hard to find out what's going on behind the scenes in these places.
Right. Cause you probably came back from the show broke and tired and horribly disillusioned, and you're not allowed to talk about it because you don't have $1 million sitting around. And in Love is Blind, that show, the contestants have to stay the whole time, and they have to pay a $50,000 fee if they want to leave early. Right. It's insane.
No. No. Oh my
Even if for
god.
mental health reasons.
Shut the fuck up if you're like, "I'm having panic attacks, like,
Yeah.
all the time
Nope.
because this isolation is crazy." They're like, "Yeah, that'll be 50 grand."
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Stop it. This
And
is outrageous.
And a lot of times the contracts come with something that says, part of their contract is to promote the show and to talk good about it and to be out there, promoting after they shoot it. And this is up to a period of like 10 years. So anything they break for 10 years after that, like, I don't remember what I did 10 years ago. Oh, I got married like 10 years ago. So I remember that. But like any of the little stuff I did 10 years ago, I don't remember. I can't imagine remembering not to say, like, hey, this one day I did this thing, and now you're sued for $1 million, whatever. It's crazy.
That is cuckoo bananas. I wonder there's a show called Married at First Sight where
Oh,
people
yeah.
get married at first sight.
Is that what happens?
Yeah. So again, except for, like on The Circle, they get to know each other first. Married at First Sight, the groom is just standing there and the bride walks down the aisle and they're like, "What's up? Nice to meet you." I do. And
Does it track is that the beginning? Does it track them after, or is it like?
well, it shows them first, them being like, "Yeah, I've been just looking for love for so long and I haven't met the right person, so I'm open to, because they have professional matchmakers who put the couples together." And I sometimes wonder if maybe they put people together that they know will cause some drama.
Of course they do.
That is so mean. People are trying to find love.
The producers for
The
producers for The Bachelor will interview contestants for like 2 or 3 straight hours before the show ever airs, like when it's going to go on, and they're like, "Don't worry, I'm never going to tell anyone all your secrets that you're divulging to me." But they put them on the air anyway for commercials, and they save it for footage later, and then they decide, okay, this person is my villain, this girl is my hero, this girl on Top Model is my ugly duckling, and then they basically start fights between people, and they cut footage and they do things to make it so that outcome happens.
There's a show about this. Oh, it's called Unreal. And I've been meaning to watch it for so long. I don't know why I haven't watched it. It has a 7.8 on IMDb and an 80% on Rotten Tomatoes. From critics and an 85 from the audience. Okay, now I really need to watch. Now I really need to watch this shit. But basically it shows it's a drama based on a dating show called Everlasting, like a fictional dating show. And it's about the producers and how they manipulate shit and contestants to get the storyline that they want. And it sounds juicy.
Does sound good.
I know, we should watch it.
Yeah, good follow-up to the reality TV episode. We probably should watch it before.
It's 4 seasons. So knowing how long you take to watch things versus me, like, I'll see you next Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? No, I don't even.
For reference, Ash gave me a recommendation rundown on an episode, and it was like 50 things. And 2 days later, she's like, "How many of them have you watched?" I was like, 0. 5 minutes of one of them.
Like, what
She's
are you even doing?
What is taking you so long?
With your life?
I finished these in 2 weekends or something ridiculous like that. I can't help it, man. What am I doing with my life?
I don't have any children, so that I think is.
Yeah. For the audience that doesn't know, I have 2 little ones, so I can't watch Love is Blind or, I don't know.
You know what? I don't want to hear excuses. Okay? Like, people make time for what they want to make time for. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, you're right. So anyway, back to reality TV.
Back to life. Back to reality, right?
Yeah, we hadn't sung yet on this episode, which is
No.
highly unusual for us.
Yeah, thank God.
We talked about deciding winners and losers. So on America's Next Top Model, the producers give their favorite contestants edges to win the competition. So they give them extra coaching, or they give them behind the scenes advice. They give them more, that they pick images at the end, and they give them the chance to pick more of their images, the people who are going to review or judge them, to see who gets to stay and who gets to go. So the outcome is highly influenced. And then, like I said, they'll tell the Bachelor, like, don't eliminate that girl. She's interesting. Even if she's like a raging bitch, they'll just be like, no, keep the raging bitch. Get rid of the boring girl. That's nice to everyone. Nobody wants that.
Yeah.
So
also, virginity has been super commodified on the Bachelor franchise. There's been several virgin bachelors and bachelorettes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And icky.
Yeah, and then it gets to the
Oh.
fantasy suites part, and the person gets to the bachelor bachelorette gets the chance to spend the night with like their top 3 contenders. So everybody's like, "Oh, are they banging all 3 of them? What?" And
That's kind of gross.
no, I know. And
I did watch one season of The Bachelor one time, and I remember just it was like he ended up being with some girl whose like ex-fiance was a race car driver that had died in a race car accident or something like that. And then we were like rooting for this girl the whole time, and then he broke up with her after, or they broke up like as soon as the
oh,
show was over.
yeah, and then you get like you think you might be getting engaged and then you get dumped on television. Like,
Yeah, I think that happened
rough.
that season too. This girl came up and was like, and he was like, "I'm sorry, I'm not gonna pick you." And it was just like this girl like crying in absolute devastation. I'm like, what are people who are sitting around going, "This is good TV." I really love to watch somebody's heart get ripped into tiny pieces.
You know what, Fallon? I'm
What?
sensing judgment and I
You
don't
are
accept
sensing
it.
judgment. I'm not denying that. I am
Look,
absolutely judging this.
I'm a reformed romance reality aholic.
Are you reformed though?
Yeah. It's been
The
so
last
long.
the last thing I'm gonna say about contracts, which I think is absolutely disgusting, is the candidates usually have to sign contracts that they are signing away rights to all privacy and publicity, which means somebody can go use their name, merchandise their name and their image, um, put their autobiography out there. They're selling the rights. Like if I'm on a reality show, maybe I can't write an autobiography about my life story now because the rights belong to The Biggest Loser or whatever. So they sort of give away their right to make money off their own name later so that the company can keep making money off of them.
Do you remember the show The Swan, where they would take these women who were like conventionally unattractive and then they would fucking give them a shit ton of plastic surgery and not let them see themselves for like 6 months? And then they would reveal them on TV. They'd like get to look in a mirror. And some of them were like, hell yeah. And it was on
Some
when I
of
was
them
like a
like
kid.
cried, right? Because
Yes.
they didn't recognize themselves.
No, some of them were absolutely devastated because they didn't recognize themselves, because they fucking hated how they looked. Like, that show
Ooh.
was gnarly. Or there was one called, I think Joe Millionaire, where all these girls thought that they were dating a millionaire. It was
But
like
he's
The
really a poor
Bachelor.
dude, right?
But
Like
yeah,
he really had no money.
he was just like a construction worker.
Yeah.
Reality TV is fucking crazy.
I think I saw a comedian made a joke about that show and she was like, otherwise known as bitches love money.
They're like, "Oh." I'm
But
I mean, but, like, whatever. It would be kind of disappointing if you were like, "Wow, I really like this guy and he's loaded." But how many of how many weren't there for love, right?
maybe one or all of them.
All right. How else are you gonna just ruin all of it for me?
So there's a lot of you can go look. There's a ton of testimony out there of people who've been on shows talking about like what happened to them. And there's a lot of kind of icky ways that shows are flat out dangerous for contestants. The Biggest Loser is a huge one. Weight, body shaming, really dangerous weight loss practices. On season 3 of The Biggest Loser, there's a contestant named Kai Hibbard who said she was forced to eat nothing but sugar free jello and asparagus for days at a time and then sit in a sauna to sweat off all the excess water weight.
Okay, I
But
get
my
sick feeling after 5 minutes in a sauna.
Me
So
too. I hate being hot.
that is literally sounds like torture. It is torture.
But my
Also,
question
she's
is,
starving. It's torture.
was it jello next to asparagus or was it like the kind of jello they make little kids eat where you chop up the asparagus and put it in the jello? because
who the fuck chops up asparagus and puts it in
nobody.
Jell-O?
But it's like when they make you eat that like Jell-O when you're a kid and it's got like oranges and cherries and strawberries in the Jell-O, which I always hated. But I'm just
Yeah,
wondering
don't
if
do that.
maybe they made her some she said the trainers on the show were vicious with their clients. They would say things like, "You're going to die before your children grow up," or "We've picked out your fat person coffin." She said she got that in a text message from her producers. And they would typically like scream at contestants off camera and belittle them. That was really typical. Heinous, awful
This is
things.
so gnarly abusive.
Yeah. They would have somebody lost this show has a record for having like the first person to lose 100 pounds in 7 weeks, which is a dangerous amount of weight. And then one person lost 34 pounds in a single week.
Yeah, that's not healthy.
Yeah.
I'm not a doctor, but that doesn't sound healthy.
No. Think about what percent of your body weight is 34 pounds, like in 1 week. That's crazy. And they would accomplish this they would accomplish this by making them eat 1,000 calories or less a day and working out for up to 8 hours a day. So think about all the time you've been at work today. I just got off of my 8 hours. Think about all that time you've been at work and picture that you've been, I don't know, cycling or spinning or pelotoning. Is it a verb, pelotoning?
Yeah, I
During that
think
8
so.
hours.
The whole time.
Yeah.
That's to borrow from our good friend Randy over at American Idol. That's going to be a no for me, dog.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know.
We were talking about mental health issues and how like somebody's having a breakdown. So there was a girl on season 2 of Love is Blind. Again, that was a rough season. Her name is Danielle Rule. She said that she told the producers during the interviews that she had psychological problems. She had they had a psych eval and she told them that she had once attempted suicide, and then they were like, "You're fine. You can pass." And then she thinks, she should not have passed and not be let onto the show given what the conditions are. And then at the end of the season, she ended up being one of the people that got engaged to a guy named Nick Thompson. And he said the night of their engagement, they were all supposed to go to a party and Danielle wasn't feeling well. So the producers were like, "Well, we're worried it's COVID," even though she tested negative. They said, "We're worried it's COVID. You have to stay here. Nick, you have to go to the party." And she got so paranoid that there were cameras in her hotel room watching her that when he came back, she had locked herself in a closet for like 3 hours having a panic attack. And she was crying and hysterical, obviously. And the producers tried to hide that she was having a panic attack. They were like, "She's fine. She's just sick." And he took off his microphone and like screamed at the producers because yelling like, "This is real life," because they were just trying to ignore it.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's not like a little bad. It's very bad.
Oh, yeah. Really quick, just for anybody who is in the live stream, I see people coming in and out. Hot tip, we're going to be doing a Q&A after and giving away a tote. So you might want to stick around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want that tote. I have 2 of them and they're
amazing. You want
amazing.
it. Ugh, you want it so bad.
The episode so Extreme Makeover was another one. Like the Swan, they would take somebody who needed a bunch of plastic surgery to a hotel. They would give him like a bunch of procedures, and then afterward they would reveal them to the world. I saw one episode, I think like the first episode, they gave someone like a tummy tuck and a breast lift and a facelift and an earlobe lift or whatever, and then they come out and they're a different person. So this one woman, her name was Delise Williams. She was flown to LA. She was given extensive interviews and psych evals. Her whole family thought she was going to be on the show. At the last minute, they scrapped her episode and sent her home. But her sister had basically gone on her interviews and talked about how horrific her sister's appearance was because she was trying to get her on the show. to get the plastic surgery. So she said all these horrific things about her sister, and then her sister's show got scrapped, and her sister, I think, was able to see what she said about her, and she ended up taking her own life.
Okay.
4 months after.
I think.
Sorry. Trigger
No,
warning.
no, it's okay. I think we maybe have to say unalive on
Oh,
YouTube
sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm still figuring out the rules. I don't know. I have to figure that out. So I was just saying maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Crazy. And then like,
what the fuck is this horse thing I'm doing?
I don't
It's totally new. And I don't get
I don't even know how to do it. You're so good at it.
I'm just
Have you been practicing?
exasperated.
Okay. This is just a new one. Join us on That's a Fucked Up Live, where we become horses.
Yeah. Slowly but surely.
And then I think the last thing I'll say is they do ignore dangerous medical issues. On a season of America's Next Top Model, there was a contestant named Michaela Shapani. She went to the emergency room because of her like the weave she got, her hair was botched, and so she had like sores and her scalp was bleeding, and they wouldn't let her take it out until a doctor basically forced them to say that they had to.
Motherfuck.
Yeah. So they're pretty gnarly. There's nothing good for the contestants. I remember, reading about the real world contestants back when I was obsessed with it in high school, and a lot of them would say, they came back to nothing. They hadn't paid their rent because they didn't have a job, because you can't have a job while you're on the show. So like their apartment lease lapsed. They had nowhere to live. They had no job because their job fired them after they weren't back for 6 months. Like everyone knew who they were. None of their secrets were there. So it was really hard for them to carry on with real life. So maybe the person that wins gets sort of a good outcome, but nobody is winning from being on these shows.
I really want to talk to somebody who is on a reality show now, but obviously they can't fucking say shit.
If anyone knows someone whose 10-year contract has elapsed that wants to talk to us,
or who wants to maybe have their face and voice changed, anonymous.
Do you know how to do that?
I could fucking figure it out, Fallon.
You see
have
in real time how she talks to me. Just kidding.
It's all love, baby.
I know.
That's what an abuser would say, though. They love you.
And listen to me. I'm like, I know. I know. I appreciate it so much.
No, it's okay. Thank you.
So there's a negative impact, though, on the viewers, too. So the Mental Health Foundation in the UK surveyed 4,500 adults back in 2019 who had watched Love Island. 25% who were surveyed said that watching the show made them self-conscious about their body image, and 1 in 7 self-harmed because of watching the show.
What?
Over concerns about their body. Yeah, that's an impact. And
wow.
They also studied Central Michigan University studied this, and they found that people psychologically were more aggressive after being exposed to a reality TV show episode where there was aggression that took place. So participants were put in a room and they had them watch an episode of one of the like crazy ones, like Jersey Shore or Real Housewives, where there's a lot of fighting going on. And then they also had them watch an uplifting show from TLC, like Little People, Big World. And then, or they had them watch a non-reality show, like a crime show, like CSI. So people would be asked to hit a keyboard in response to a question. And they believed that if they did if they hit the keyboard a certain way, they get to blast a participant in another room with a loud or long noise. And they took notes on how long the people wanted to blast the sound at this fictional person, like really startle them. And they found that the people who watched Jersey Shore or Real Housewives were more aggressive than the people who watched like a CSI murder show. Yo.
Wow, that's so interesting. You know, they always say like, oh, do video games make people more violent? No, you guys, the Real Housewives of LA are making people more violent.
Right. It's not Eminem's music. It's
No.
Seashore. We've cracked the code.
Snooki.
And they can get addicting. Shows can get addicting because it
They can.
For any of you like me, ADHD dopamine miners out there, it provides actual like dopamine hit to people watching it. So they crave it and want to watch it kind of more and more. And the fact that it's called Real and Unscripted makes people think that this is how you should look and act and behave with other people. So then they start maybe portraying that in their own life. Like, well, people on TV and reality TV screamed at everybody that they were mad at. So that's okay, right? So it has an effect on everyone, not a positive effect, clearly. Or we probably wouldn't be covering it on this show.
When the pandemic started, I found out how to watch The Bachelor Australia for free online. And that's all I did for like a month. I shit you not.
How'd you feel after that? Good?
Pretty good. I don't know. I started the podcast, started cussing a lot publicly, making my dreams come true. So I think it turned out all right, But I watched a lot of The Bachelor. But the world was falling apart and it was something to distract me.
I think we all did what we could to get by. I don't judge anybody for pandemic behaviors because, I mean, we all live
rough times. Yeah.
There is a foundation that's been started, though. It's by Nick Thompson and Jeremy Hartwell. They were both on that horrible season of Love is Blind. They founded something called the You Can Foundation, which is the Unscripted Cast Advocacy Network, because Nick ended up engaged to Danielle, the one I told you about had the panic attack. He felt immense pressure to get engaged, and they got married despite his doubts. He didn't know the full extent of, that she had psychological issues, and it wasn't that he had a problem with it. It was just that like it was never revealed to him while they were dating. They divorced a year later because they had very different lifestyles, and they both kind of ignored like the red flags about each other because they felt like they had to get married or engaged. And then he said after he got divorced, he was unable to get a job because everyone knew who he was. He was on this huge reality series. One point he said he was almost homeless. So he currently has an interview format podcast out there called Eyes Wide Open, and he, I guess, interviews people from other reality shows. But it's made to help other reality TV stars kind of negotiate for better contracts and fairer working conditions. So that's like one positive that I was able to find about the reality TV world. Otherwise, it's all a big, huge bummer. This was our light day.
There I go with the horsing again. I don't quit horsing around, Ashley. What the fuck? And maybe it's just this topic and it'll never happen again. I don't know. Wow, that is so fucked up.
That is so fucked up. I do have a friend who was on a reality show once. She, one of the fashion ones, her friends nominated her for this show. I think it was called like Makeover Ambush or Ambush Makeover, where somebody like pulls up and drags you into a van.
Hold on. Was it? Okay, me and my great grandma used to watch this show. What Not to Wear? Was it What Not to Wear?
It was not. It was called Ambush Makeover, and I guess they would like kidnap you and legally. And
so your friend had really bad style.
I don't know. As a girl I knew from high school, but I guess they didn't like that she wore t-shirts and jeans because God forbid. So
I wear like all the time.
She was like, none of the clothes fit. They basically push you out there and they're like, here's your new style. And she's like, I was in shoes that were too small, jeans that didn't fit, the top was ugly. And it's not like you don't get to keep, I think, the clothes afterward.
Go live your best life.
Yeah, go live your best life with small shoes. I don't know. But
well, on What Not to Wear, they would make the people throw away all the clothes that they didn't approve of.
right, they would throw away like 100 items of clothing, and then they would let them buy like what 10 things
Mhm.
that were impractical, and then go, here you go,
Like, well,
congratulations on your new
here's your
wardrobe.
work look, and here's your night look.
I get to wear the same outfit every day for the rest of my life because that's all I got left.
And
It
this
did not
reality
seem like
show
a fair trade.
bankruptcy. Um, wow. Well, just, oh, when I said pedophilia, I said To Catch a
That was a
Predator.
swerve to the
I
right
know.
there.
Back to bingo, though. Well, I
Woo!
said To Catch a Predator. Even better example, Toddlers and Tiaras.
Yes.
I felt like I
Ew.
had to bleach my insides after I watched a season of that, because I did,
Yeah.
and then I was like, I felt really ashamed and dirty.
When she said she did, she means that she watched the season. She does not mean that she bleached her insides.
I
Just FYI.
think I'd be dead. But yeah, I got kind of like addicted to the drama, as one does. And I was like, they're drugging toddlers. They were giving them Red Bull and Pixie Sticks, 2-year-olds.
Ugh.
And then they'd like put spray tan on them and lipstick. And I just know that not all the men in the audience are
Dads or
dads.
whatever.
Mm-mm. Yeah. And just, it's just commodified child abuse. It's insane.
Yeah, that I couldn't watch that show. It's so
And yeah,
icky.
TLC, the Learning Channel, they do have some really entertaining hot garbage, but I just can't support them anymore because, well, it
The
sounds like
Duggars.
reality TV is really, really bad. But also, they gave the Duggars a platform, as well as several other Christian fundamentalist families, and
Yeah.
they're just yuck.
Well, they sort of became the dumping ground, right? Because they got bought by Discovery and they used to show educational stuff. And then Discovery was like, well, we need a place to put all
Boring.
our crap. So let's load it all onto TLC. That'll be like our dumpster for all reality TV all the time. And we'll keep talking about dinosaurs and sharks and stuff on this side.
Mm. And yeah, and now they're like, whatever. They're teamed up with Max or something. I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Well, I think
Yeah.
I think that's all, folks. That's
That's all.
all. Yeah. Oh my gosh, this was so fun.
It was fun.
So, if you are listening on the podcast and you are getting some FOMO when you heard us respond to some comments, then definitely check in the show notes of this episode, because there will be a link to our YouTube channel. Come subscribe, come hang out. Go to tsfuthepodcast.com for links to our Patreon, social media, YouTube, etc. I think that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you
Yeah.
got them all.
Yeah.
I can't see
Can
comments
I
or
stop
questions for people.
I wonder if I can stop the well, so now I'm going to put the comments back up. I was just like, can I stop the recording without stopping the thing? But that's a no. So I'm just going to make a note to our editors when it ends, since now we're going to do some Q&A for the people who stuck around and watched.
I can't see any of that stuff. I just have this giant box that says everyone can see and hear you, which is a little terrifying.
Everyone. Oh, yeah, that is terrifying. Okay, well, don't worry, I got you. Peggy starred a couple great questions here. Alicia asked, did you guys watch the show where they were trying to help women out of prostitution and human trafficking by staging meetings, and then they messed it up by not having enough help to actually help them? I don't know. I
Wow.
don't know about that one, but it sounds fucking terrible.
That sounds awful.
Sounds,
No.
pretty in line with, what Fallon's been telling us so far. Brendan asked, "Didn't TLC start off as a for-profit version of PBS?"
Well, actually, TLC started out as a satellite direct to classroom uh, cable programming that was delivered via a satellite, and schools could subscribe to the content and do educational programs in the classroom. And then they expanded, they merged with like another cable network, and they expanded to where they had actual educational programming. And there were shows like Learn to Read for adults and Bob Teaches Sewing, and like really super dry, boring programming. And then they got
Wait,
bought
nobody
by
wanted to
Discovery.
watch Bob Teaches Sewing?
I would want to watch Bob Teaches Sewing, but apparently the rest of the world wanted to watch Toddlers and Tiaras or all of that. So they scrapped that. But yeah,
I hate it here, Fallon.
I know. In TLC land, it's not a fun place. I'd rather be anywhere else.
Honestly, I'm just so pissed because I whatever, I used to get some enjoyment out of it. What? Peggy is coming out of the closet. I like it. I usually watch Love is Blind and 90 Day Fiancé. Own it. Own it,
There's
Peggy.
Ash's show, 90 Day Fiance.
That was my shit, dude. Like anything for the longest time. It could be like 90 Day Fiancé people taking a shit. And I'd be like, it's got 90 Day Fiancé on it. I'm watching. Like they would put out the most hot garbage. And just like because it became such a popular show, like there was like 90 Day Fiancé quarantine. And it was just the people like filming themselves
Sitting
like,
around.
hey, so I'm in my house. And I was like, totally.
Today, I put water in my ice cube maker. It was awesome.
Peggy also loved Real World.
Yes. Favorite
90s
season,
babies.
mine was the one in Boston where they all lived in a firehouse. I so badly was like, I would love to be in that cast.
I just remember there was a blonde guy named Puck, right?
That
Was
was
a thing at some point.
that was in San Francisco, and he was like the first roommate to get kicked out. I know a lot of
Oh,
random
shit.
real world
Yeah. Wow, you
trivia,
do.
apparently.
Fun facts. Sophia says people ruined everything, and I
Agreed.
agree.
Agreed. People ruin it.
Oh, yeah, Road Rules, that came after.
Yeah. And then the people who were
Real
on Real
World.
World and Road Rules, if they were like at all hot or at all interesting or they were willing to have sex with everybody, they would put them on Real World versus Road Rules, and Road Rules goes to Vegas, and like all kinds of spin-offs.
I think reality TV is very profitable, right? Like low cost, high
High reward.
reward. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at Oh, Fallon, if you go to our YouTube page and like press mute on the video, you can actually see people's comments.
I only have one screen. I don't want to like mess it up. So
Sophia's out when khakis are involved. Totally. Yeah, no, Alone is good. And I did actually feel sorry for Larry because he did have gnarly anger issues, but I think it's because he really hated his life, and that's unfortunate. Sally says, also, it depends on the environment they are in because one lady got bit by so many bugs, she ended up contracting a disease that affected her nervous system. Yeah, that's probably
Oh.
Naked Afraid or Survivor or something.
Yeah, Naked and Afraid to me is like, well,
I'm
you're
like, I'm not
embarrassed from
going
the
to have
get-go.
bugs. Exactly. And then I have bugs crawling up my bits. Like, no, thank you.
I was gonna let you work through that one. The one
My downstairs mix up, if you will.
Oh my god. So now I can't even remember what I was gonna say. Everything after downstairs mix up. No, every episode of Naked and Afraid I've seen, the guy ends up sunburned by like the second day. Like the dude's always like, I'm used to being out in the sun, and then he ends up like bright red and sunburned.
And then you
All
get
immediately.
and then a sunburn on your cock-a-doodle doo. I
Yeah.
mean, no, thank you.
I'm just gonna start writing down all your words for male and female anatomy.
Poet admits that he likes watching America's Next Top Model. Look, you guys, no shame here, okay? Like,
there was one
is it
episode of that.
exploitative and terrible? Yes,
Yeah.
but they're making it and it's out there. And if it makes you, if you like it, do it. Do you?
I watched a cool.
Boo-boo.
There was a cool season of that where the girl who won had been, I guess, like too heavy to be considered a model in the past. So she had like lost weight and gone on America's Next Top Model, and she was totally gorgeous and she won. But it was sort of like her personal like success story journey. So I did like that season. That's the one season of that I saw because I was rooting for her the whole time.
I also bet that the producers know about a ton of eating disorders going on behind the scenes on those model shows. And they're like,
I'm sure.
They probably encourage it. They're like, oh, did you just eat a whole burger? Bleh.
I'm sure.
So hungry now.
On The Biggest Loser, like they basically sanction everybody who is on that to have an eating disorder the whole time they're on the show.
Right.
If you think about it, they're eating extremely limited calories. They're working out like 8 hours a day. I mean, the one girl who was one of their biggest winners lost 60% of her body weight to win.
Yeah, I mean, it's good if you're that obese, but not in that environment and not that quickly.
Right.
Like, of course, making healthier choices and like getting excess weight off for your health is important, but also only eating fucking Jell-O is not really a healthy choice.
No.
Is it? I don't know about much nutrition in Jell-O.
I mean, it's been a minute since I've done a Jell-O only diet myself, but I don't think it's a healthy, valid lifestyle.
Now I know I'm hungry because I'm like, I could go for some Jell-O. Alicia said the virgin thing is depicted in Unreal. Yeah, so the show that I was mentioning, it's very like it's not about The Bachelor, but it's totally about The Bachelor. I was telling you how there's like a lot of commodified virginity on The Bachelor and all the spinoffs. So yeah, we got to watch Unreal.
Yeah. Add that to my list of 62 other things you've asked me to watch.
Yeah, you're never gonna get around to it. Whatever.
Marilyn's
here. Hi, Marilyn. She said, "Oh my God, that's so horrible and cruel." And,
all of it.
Could be referring to anything. So
yes.
yeah,
almost everything they do to people on reality TV. Yeah,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Alicia remembers Joe Millionaire. And Fear Factor. That's how Joe Rogan came up. And they literally used to just be like, oh, what's your worst fear? Great. We're going to do that to you.
Great. Everybody today is eating centipedes. I just remember like weird stuff like that.
Yeah. Or I remember people getting into like a big glass box and getting covered in snakes or spiders.
No.
Oh.
No. I do remember that show, The Amazing Race. Was it The Great Race? The Amazing Race?
Oh, The Amazing Race. I really wanted to be on that. But they probably also didn't treat people great. So
the men who are obsessed with John Bonet. Yes, Peggy.
That's toddlers and tiaras crew.
Yes. Yeah, that, and actually I think that her death was the first thing that brought up a lot of discussions around how wrong those pageants were. I mean, they still went on to produce that show, but I think there was a lot of talk at the time, like, why are we putting little girls?
Isn't it still on?
And I think so. I don't know. It's so gross.
Brendan was hooked on John and Kate +8 after Survivor, and Peggy watched John and Kate build their house. People love to watch huge families.
Yep.
where I was just like no offense, Peggy or anybody who likes those shows, I was as not somebody who wants children. I'm like, ugh,
When we were
like why?
when we
I
were
don't want to
doing
watch that.
Yeah, when we were doing the new F word, I looked at, people's behavior watching reality TV, and it said that because the whole freak show concept, people are so used to seeing weird stuff now, what they're interested in is lifestyle weirdness. So I don't have 10 kids, so I think it's fascinating to see how people deal with 10 kids or whatever.
Mm-hmm. So it's like My Strange Addiction isn't good enough. It's like, all right, she's eating lint out of her belly button exclusively for the last 20 years, but like that's
Oh.
not, dude, you've probably seen that show. It's yeah, no, it's
Ugh.
gnarly. But
As you
they're
would
like
say.
we need to they're like, "Oh no, we need to see people who are living as Mormon polygamists.
Yeah.
Like we need to see like the lives behind the freak shows." Cat's got some good names. The Leering Channel, the Lowbrow Channel.
I like
And
that
that's
one.
not Cat. We have a cat who is also in our Discord, longtime listener. We love Cat. But that's a oh my gosh, could you hear that? I burped.
No.
But I burped inside. Ooh. Excuse me. Bubbly water. But yeah, that's a new cat she's been in the channel and now she's in the Discord. Very exciting. You guys, please join the Discord.
Yeah, join the Discord.
Let kids be kids. Yeah, seriously, stop
Agree.
sexualizing them and putting them on television.
Agree.
Marilyn says extreme makeovers
Oh,
are
yeah.
terrible. Yeah,
And the
absolutely.
story with that girl's sister, yeah, it pretty awful. I remember people on that show also crying because they saw themselves in the mirror and they were like, "Oh my god, what happened to my body?" Like, they were upset
Right, like,
about
it's
it.
a totally different fucking person, and you're this is being revealed to you on television in
Mhm.
front of well, just in the studio right there, however many producers and whatnot, and then to America and beyond, the United States of America.
And I'll be transparent, I have had plastic surgery done to part of my body, and it is, after having kids, and it is, like, such a painful recovery, and I cannot imagine having a camera on you with that. It's, like, the worst 4 days ever, and I can't imagine somebody in your face with a camera being like, "How do you feel about this?"
Yeah, I'd be like, "I
Fucking
feel like you need to get the fuck out of my face," is how
yeah,
I feel.
yeah, awful. Oh, can't imagine.
Poet's wife used to watch ex-wife used to watch Dance Moms.
Oh, yeah, Dance Moms. It had
That's
that
it.
really, like, bitchy studio owner, right? Like,
Yeah,
some, like,
and it
super
was just, like,
mean
always her and drama between the Dance
the
Moms.
moms and whose daughter would, like, get the like, little four-year-old daughter would get the solo or
I
just
again feel
awful
pretty
shit.
fucking exploitative of TV.
Yes.
Brendan, bringing it back in the day. Don't know if it's considered reality TV, but the Jerry Springer show and other types were just fucking horrible, transphobic and homophobic. Yes, and
Yes.
racist. They would do a lot of those like, "Oh, is who's the daddy?" segments and like it would always be with people of color. Yeah, that shit was
The
fucked.
Jerry Springer was it Jerry Springer or I think it was Jerry Springer. They actually had a murder that happened as a result of people being on that show. Because of, like, whatever was revealed. I think, somebody was dating someone and they revealed, that they were I don't think they revealed they were transgender. It was something to that effect, and, like, it resulted in a guy killing another guy, basically, after they were on the show together. It was a big deal, but I think they were the OG reality TV because they scripted those so that there would be an outcome that would cause people to fight
Yeah,
or hate each other
exactly.
or whatever.
Or
Yeah,
I
they
think
definitely
people
count.
even I was actually just gonna mention Judge Judy
Judge Judy.
Hilton. Um, I feel like that shit is Definitely. I think they go into it. I think the compensation is that they both know that they'll win the money.
Really?
I think.
Judge Judy, I just love her because they'll be like, I want $100 for my computer that he threw on the ground. And she'll be like, screw you. You're not getting your $100.
Me and my great grandma used to watch Judge Judy.
Oh,
Yeah.
she's such a
Edie.
judgmental little judge.
Well, Judge, well, that's her job,
Is
you
she
know?
still alive? Is that still on? Or is she
Oh, she's very much alive. She's still popping off at the mouth. I think
really?
she's, I think the,
She's got
I
to be
think
like
that's like the,
80 or 90 by now, right?
you know what? I bet she looks just like she fucking did when I watched this show 15 years ago. I have to look up a picture. I'm going to put it up for you guys.
And are
Just
those shows with the judge, are they real court or is it just totally fake? Like, is that a real court decision? Like, if she says, yeah, you can have your $100, do you get your $100 or is it totally
Peggy said they're
bullshit?
real.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
It still
that's
runs in
that's probably
syndication.
Judge Judy now. Yeah, she's
She's so
okay. She does look older than when I watched 15 years ago, but that makes
how about
sense.
that?
I also look older than I did then.
There's 2 I just looked it up. 2 court spinoffs from Judge Judy. Judy Justice is one
Nice.
of them.
Oh, Hilton said, "Can you say hi to my partner, Mikey, watching and listening to you for the first time? Hi, Mikey.
Hi,
Thanks for tuning
Mikey.
in.
Yay,
It's
that's
about
exciting.
time." No, I'm just kidding. Thank you so much.
No, hi.
Alicia, yep, Rania Alcala on The Dating Game was a serial killer.
That's right.
That was
That's right.
crazy. Oh, Kat said, "Actors are the litigants. I know an actor who used to pretend to be a plaintiff and then a defendant in a different episode."
Ah, so it's not real.
What? But Peggy said it's some small claims court, so you can't sue. I don't know. You guys duke it out in the comments. Who knows more about behind the scenes Judge Judy?
Judy Justice. Who knows more?
Okay, let me see. Starred is live chat on YouTube reality TV. I was kind of thinking about that. Like maybe a little bit, right? Except I was gonna say, except it's not scripted, but it is because you were just reading a script to me for like an hour. Not like blah
Yeah.
blah blah blah, but bullet points or whatever, you know.
Yeah. We were reading it, but the one thing we don't do with a live is we don't stop it and cut it and flip around the clips that we have to make it sound like we said something we didn't. I think that's the difference, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, and yeah, like Peggy said, you guys, please don't forget to hit the like button. Please. And if you haven't yet subscribed, because it has come to that time.
Yeah.
A roommate of mine was contacted by Judge Judy over a traffic accident he had. There you go. It's real. It's real people.
Wow. Ooh. It's good to know.
Fat. Cat said, haha, not gonna fight with a wrench.
Yeah.
Fallon. I know about YouTube now, like a little bit. And a wrench is somebody who's in the chat that can like put up links and stuff.
Oh.
Don't
Wow.
worry.
I'm
Yeah.
learning so much.
I know.
I was gone for a few days and I came back and now I'm
started
on YouTube.
YouTube
So it's
channel.
exciting.
Yeah, it's a fun
Thanks for
ride.
coming for my first spin around the YouTube. I'm excited.
Yeah, thanks you guys so much for being here. So listen, I'm gonna go honors system, you guys, because only somebody who is subscribed to the channel can win the tote bag. So I'm just gonna trust you guys, okay? Is there like how do I randomly select somebody? How do I do that?
I don't know.
Help me, somebody. How do I do a random selection? I feel like there's like I could have planned this part out better, but okay, you guys type something in the chat as fast as you can. Go.
YouTube random comment picker.
You guys put literally any emoji or hi or hey or hello, whatever in the chat. Yep. And then
we could do a random number picker, like run and then pick whatever number down the list.
Okay.
Let me do it on my phone.
Okay, guys, hurry, get them in. Get them in.
How many people?
Well, it keeps going, so
I know.
You gotta,
but I'll put it in like the max number and then it'll give me a number in between 1 and the max.
Okay, you guys have 10 more seconds to get it in. Do 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 do. Bonus time. Do 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 do. Submissions closed. We got a giggity right at the end. I like it. Okay, let me count now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna have to get a more effective way for this. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. Great job, you guys. 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 44, 45, 46. You guys are like really fast. 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 54. Oh, and then I have to go down and count too. God damn it.
Well, no, it's I hit generate and it picked number 49. So go up from the bottom.
And that is Cat.
Woo woo.
Cat Matajets is high. Are you high? I shouldn't accuse you of being high. I'm high. It's all good. Put a like a weed life.
Cat,
a weed life.
You win the tote bag, Cat.
Cat wins a tote bag.
Cat wins a tote bag. I can't believe we had 54 people say, hey, that's awesome.
See? Cat said no, seriously. I'm high. See, I wasn't going too off the rails. Yay, Cat! Yay. Cat, you get this lovely tote bag that says TSFU the podcast. Remember, you guys have been watching That's So Fucked Up live. We are a podcast. That's where all of our content lives. We have, I don't know, a fuck ton of episodes, at least 200 that are for free on the feed, and 130 or something that are on
Patreon
the Patreon, ad free, good stuff. Yes, and thank you so much, Brendan. We love the rope handles. Kat, please do email me at tsfupodcast@gmail.com. If you guys have any questions or whatever, you can also email us there. And please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, tell your friends. Yeah. And have a good Friday.
Yeah.
Bye. Bye.